company, I don't think that your work directly goes as a report. No, because even if you are a manager, there is a one manager on top of you who actually takes a look, checks your work and then approve it, right? So that's why mistakes are always there. There is no need to be super afraid of the mistakes. It's actually my habit whenever I start any job.
So hello guys, today we have Gulnar Albuzova ma'am. She is currently working as a data analyst at Capgemini, and in this episode we are getting into data sciences and how to pursue your career as a data analyst. So this episode is going to very informational. So hello ma'am.
Hi, thank you so much, Abhay, for having me.
So ma'am, how are you?
Doing great. I hope you're doing great as well. And I am very thankful that you give that chance to me to speak a little bit about my experience to help the people, because I recently received lots of emails about how to land a data analyst position. So that's why I believe this podcast will be very, very helpful for me as well, because I can link your podcast to the people who ever reach out to me and ask me the questions.
Yes ma'am. So ma'am, how long you are into in the data analysis, data sciences field? How long?
Um, if we start like a learning, I started learn like 3 years
Ma'am, as a
ago.
profession,
Yes,
as a professional, when
as
you
a
started?
profession, it's been
Yes
it's
ma'am.
been year and a half exactly.
Year and a half. So
Yes,
ma'am, so ma'am, how are you getting interested in data sciences? Like a very deep mathematics because it requires a lot of maths to get into. So what's make you
yes.
interested in that field?
Because though my background is very unrelated, I'm coming from biology background. I always involve in mathematics, and I love like working with numbers, crunching data, those kind of things. Because in biology, we actually have genetics and ecology that they deal with a lot of data. And from then, I actually have a huge interest about working with data. But after realizing that statistics is a main background of the data analysis and science, I made a decision that this field is the field that I want to see myself for a long time. Yeah, this is how I started. Definitely mathematics and statistics is the background.
Nice man. So ma'am, that I already mentioned that our target audience is college student who are in 20th, third year, fourth year. So ma'am, if you
Mhm.
want to teach a college student who are getting into college currently it in first year, so how are you going to teach that student about data analysis in a simple words?
I would definitely advise to focus at least three main areas. The first one is communication skills. This is the most important thing because there's a lots of misunderstanding among the people that if you're working with computer, you don't need to speak, but it's not true at all, especially for data analysts. You have to explain what the data is saying to the people, to the stakeholders, right? So this is the most important skills, and this is not a skill that you can evolve, like if you can develop within a year. It's 4 years maybe enough for that. So every single time you have to develop that skill, the communication skills. The second one is the background of the data analysis, which is mostly statistics and linear algebra. These are two subjects that are backbones of data science. And the third one is I would definitely recommend them not to focus to learn too many tools. Just pick one tool, and whichever tool you are confident with, learn deeply and deeply. Don't jump from tool to the tool, because those are the mistakes that I've made. And I've realized a little bit later that all the tools actually are doing the same job. So why not to focus only one and then learn deeper that tool? So this three advice would be definitely help anybody that, regardless college students or self-learners, they can easily land the job. But communication skills comes first. I actually shared one post last time on the LinkedIn, and lots of the comments are people are misunderstood me about the communication skills, but it's really, really important.
Nice, ma'am. From my knowledge, data science or data analysis is very deep field. It requires a lot of
Yes,
efforts to get all the mathematical terms to getting into that field.
exactly.
Lot of misconception in this field. When a new beginner get into this field. So, what are the most common misconceptions in this field when he or she
Perfect
started as
question.
a data analyst?
Perfect question. For the most misunderstood part is people, whoever wants to become a data analyst or data science, they go to the job descriptions and try to search what kind of tools or skills they need to have, and every job requirement saying a variety of tools and variety of skills, and you become so lost, like which one to start, how am I going to learn all these? Those are not important, believe me. Most of the time, job requirements, people who post those requirements, they don't even know what they're really looking for. I can give example from my experience that my job posting, actually the job that I landed, they required like a SQL in an advanced level, but it's been a year that I haven't used SQL at all. Or Python was recommended, but I haven't used Python, but instead I used another like Excel and Power BI. So the most important misunderstanding part is thinking that you have to learn everything before to apply a job. No, there is not such a thing. Anytime after you start learning data analysis, 3 months, if you really put like effort and energy into it, 3 months later, you really become a junior data analyst at some companies that they are willing to hire you, and they are willing to, spend time with you to, because data analysis is not a thing that you sit, learn, and then you complete the course and then you start applying. It's not like that. You are going to learn entire your life while you're using this. So this is my point of view. Don't focus on the job posting, and don't focus to the many tools.
It's a nice point. So, ma'am, what are the resources you speak on in order to get? Because when you start your career, you have to learn many things in this field, many mathematical terms. So, how you started? What
Yes.
are the resources you follow for to learn all of these terms?
Yeah, so actually my mathematics background was completely ready when I start this area, because learning mathematics in a high level does not make you data analyst or data science, of course, because those are the theories, but you really need to learn the tools, how to apply those concepts into the data, right? And data is changing from company to the company, even from branch of the company to another branch of the company. So it doesn't mean that if you really know like mathematics really well, you will definitely be a good data analyst. No, the most important skill is being a problem solver or critical thinker, right? So my like theory, in terms of theory, like statistics and mathematics was ready. Actually, I completed like a mini statistics course while I was taking like a biology master courses. I didn't have any problem from there, but the most important part is the mistake that I made. Actually, I also started learning so many tools. Like I used to learn Python, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, and all of these. Excel, of course, is always there. But once I realized that one tool is mostly important to learn deeper, I only focused to, there is a portal, they say Maven Analytics. I believe that lots of data analysts, they learn all of the tools that they learn from that portal. The beauty of that portal is actually, it gives you the path of the courses. So let's say you want to learn Tableau, but you don't know where to start. So they have like a simple, the skill test. After the skill test, if you let the system knows that you want to be a Tableau specialist, they give you the courses in a steps, just a pathway as a sequence. So my main resource is Maven Analytics. It's been almost a year that I never use almost any other resources than that.
Okay, ma'am.
But it's,
Ma'am, all of
yeah.
these sources you mentioned in this episode, we are going to give the link in the description so that our
Yes,
viewers
of
get
course.
this.
I can definitely. I can definitely send you the main resources. As I said, like I was a resource addicted person before. I have millions of course subscriptions that I have never completed them. But those are not important. I would say the most important skill to improve is to build a project. Regardless what you are doing while building a project, it is the most important part of the learning journey. Learn little but apply more. Little and apply more. This is the steps that everybody should take.
Nice, ma'am. Nice, ma'am. So, ma'am, what are the challenges you face when you started all these resources to learn about? What are the challenges you face in your journey?
Yes, the first challenge is I am brand new into the field. I had no idea where to start. I spent almost 3 months from the YouTube, Google, what the data analysis really does, right? And the main challenge was actually the resource abundance and people abundance. When you go to the LinkedIn, everybody is talking about data analyst and everyone has their own point of views. And you feel lost at the beginning, who to follow, who to hear, who to listen, right? Or resources. There are millions of portals. Every portal teaches data analysis in a different way. And you feel like, okay, I have to learn this, and then I have to take another course. So these are the main challenges. The best way actually to be able, being like a building your own path. Not every data analyst does the same job. Like if we both are data analysis at the same company, even if we deal with the same data, we will still deal the same data in a different way, right? Because your problem solving skills are not going to be as same as mine. So that's why not, while following, of course, the common ideas, common knowledge, why not we build our own way? So this is the best way for me. So let's say learning SQL, right? Some people, they think like whenever they learn SQL, they have to complete all the courses advanced level and then they need to start building the portfolio or any project. But I realized that while you're learning some advanced skills, actually SQL is huge. You cannot learn all at all, and you will not use it all the SQL, capabilities in your job. So just learn a little bit and start building a project. This is how I actually overcame with my challenge. Another challenge is actually finding a mentor. This is the best thing that could have happened to any fresher, to find a good mentor. But unfortunately, it's not always successful to find a good mentor because people are so busy. I understand it. But on the LinkedIn, there are some people that they really share a gem, like a very informative ideas. Just pick a few of them and then start following them, and they will definitely highlight your way. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Nice. So, ma'am, as a data analyst, because for the biggest firm, they like the Capgemini, like bigger companies require data analyst because it is a booming industry. So, ma'am, what is the chances of error? As a data analyst, you have to manage all data, all the backend part of the company. So, is there any chance of mistake, or you should have to be every time too accurate enough in order to get the results? So, what are the chances of error
Exactly.
in this field?
That's a beautiful question as well. In any job, even if you work as a doctor, you have a chance of doing an error. It just happened to me 2 days ago, and they did a small error in the surgery, and I could not even believe that I'm happening. So any area has that, right? In my job as well. That's why at the beginning I said that communication skills comes first. If you do a mistake, you need to learn how to apologize for that and how to put your full effort to solve it, and to show your team that this mistake is just by accident. It could have happened to anybody else, but the most important thing, how willing you are to fix it, how really deeply apologize, how deeply you feel sorry about that mistake. But in any company, I don't think that your work directly goes as a report. No, because even if you are a manager, there is a one manager on top of you who actually takes a look, checks your work and then approve it, right? So that's why mistakes are always there. There is no need to be super afraid of the mistakes. It's actually my habit whenever I start any job, any role. My first question is, what kind of mistakes are deadly? And I have always received this answer that there is no mistakes that is deadly, but the deadly mistake is not to just apologize, or not, like feeling like you are in the boss in the room is just a huge mistake, which actually hurts everybody. So just be a person, just a humble person that everybody could easily reach out to you, and never hesitate to reach out to the people in your team. I work with like amazing team. I've done maybe, I don't know, maybe 10,000 cases within a year, but maybe I've done like hundreds of mistakes, but none of them actually hurts my professionalism, because I have learned from those mistakes as well. So yeah, there is a mistake and they are not deadly, luckily, because there is somebody that definitely checks your work and to see those mistakes.
So, ma'am, from your prior experience, can you tell what is the future of data analysis? As I already mentioned, it is a booming industry. But from your experience, because you are in that industry, what is the future of data science? What is the future of data analyst for any company?
I think actually I think the same way that all the LinkedIn, data analyst influencers are thinking. It has a great future because we live in a data world right now. Our world is completely has changed, and every decision actually is made by the learning data. So it has a huge future. But the thing is, you really need to have a huge desire to learn and huge desire to be in that future. This is the most important thing. If you kind of thinking, okay, I learned that much and I think it's enough for me to work at a certain company, it is a huge mistake. Every company is developing every single second because the nature of the data that companies receives changes every single day, and it requires the change of the employees as well every single day, that they need to, how to say, like they need to complete that change, right? So my answer is, it is even hard for me to picture how huge, how bright the future of the data science, because it's actually evolving. It has creating lots of branches. And another advice, since we actually talk about the future, whenever anybody actually thinks to become a data analyst, at the beginning, they really need to understand their niche, because data analyst is a huge umbrella. Data science is a huge umbrella. We keep hearing that. It has lots of areas, but you really need to know at which certain point you want to be. Like, is it like, let's say, BI analyst, or is it just a regular data analyst, or visualization, professional? So those are the most important decisions that they need to be made at the beginning. Excuse me.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, if someone started, their career as a data analyst for any company, small startup or any type of company, what is the average salary he or she will get offer from that company? From your prior experience, because you are currently in USA, you're working in a USA company. So, from the whole global perspective, what is the average salary of our data analyst?
It really changed from company to company, and for US, it really changed from state to state as well. And actually, it the answer of that question is ZipRecruiter or other Indeed, those kind of websites, as a more precise answer for that kind of questions. But my experience, it also, of course, depends on the experience level, but from my experience, the average data analyst, I would say, changing roughly between 90 to 100K. But again, it's just the average. Anybody can earn more than
dollar or
yeah, for yearly, it's 90 through like 100,000. I might be mistaken that, but whenever I see the job postings, like, I've never seen data analyst position in any company that pays less than 80K, right? 80,000 per year. But of course, when we see that salary, we also need to understand that the expenses of US is also within the same range. So that's why we always need to focus, how to say, to get more skills and to become more advanced, and to become a person that is actually demanded by the companies, right? So if these kind of rules, or if this kind of mindset is any person has, they will definitely be in the field as a confident data analyst within 5 years. It's enough time to become a confident data analyst and to earn enough money in the field.
great, ma'am. We talk about the misconceptions. We talk about the resources to become a data analyst. So, ma'am, what
Yeah.
are the topics? I know on mathematical subject, what are the mathematical topics a student should learn in order to start there? Because there are many topics in mathematics or in
Yes.
statistics part. So,
Yes.
what are the bare minimum topics that students should definitely going to learn before getting into company?
Exactly.
So, what are the topics?
Exactly. Definitely. Yes. For data analysis, the algebra is more than enough, I would say, because algebra is a subject that gives you all the algebraic thinking that you need to acquire to become a data analyst, right? And also, algebra is enough to understand the main statistics topics that required for the data analyst. I'm only talking about data analysts right now, because data science is more advanced, more deeper, more mathematical and statistical topics are involved, plus linear algebra topics are involved into the data science as well. But for data analysts, as I said, honestly, just high school algebra course is more than enough if you're really confident on that area. I don't say that you don't have to improve yourself into the field. Of course, the more you acquire, the more you need to learn, but those are enough. For the statistics, I would say any like first year college statistics course, when I say this, it's crystal clear. I don't need to actually start counting of the topics, but any first year college statistics course, if you really understood those, main topics from that course, is more than enough, because it's kind of my habit to land from interview to the interview just to make myself a professional, because I myself is not a US based person. I myself learn the culture, like how to land a job, how to reach out to the recruiter, how to behave in the interview, how to answer those questions. I learned those things while experiencing on myself. So I have never seen any advanced statistical question or any advanced mathematical question or any advanced tool question into those interviews, because as I said, any company that hires you, they will definitely give you time to adapt yourself into the company, to learn company's internal tools, right? So you don't have to be very anxious about the resources. You don't have to be a professional mathematician or professional statistician or professional SQL developer in order to land a job. Of course, it's a good thing to do, but the best way is actually acquiring enough skills and land a job and start learning that, because you will also build an experience on your resume. This is the most important thing. Yeah,
Yes,
I
ma'am,
hope I
right.
answered your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Then,
Yeah.
ma'am, you mentioned that about the interviews, about the recruitment process. So from that
Yes.
point, what is the level of competition in this profession when a fresher is going to, apply for any company?
Huge,
What is the level of
huge,
competition?
huge, huge, huge. Because if anyone use like a LinkedIn, when you apply for any job, LinkedIn actually gives you how many people applies for the certain position, and I have never seen less than 200. Honestly, 200 is the minimum. So that is why I can little bit add, if we have some time, I want to add a little bit more thing on this, the fresher advice for the freshers. LinkedIn is the number one place that you have to be. I would say close all your other social medias and come to the LinkedIn and spend your time there. But spending time there doesn't mean that try to build a lot of followers. It's not an Instagram that we focus to the followers. No. When you apply for a job, don't apply 100 job weekly and don't do any research based on the company, or not doing any reaching out to the recruiters. It's not a job application. There are millions of people like that. Just apply 5 jobs or 2 jobs daily, but reach out to the company. How to reach out to the company? Because LinkedIn already gives you the connections or the people that works for certain companies. Reach out to them, learn the company culture, ask questions, but don't do it just as a formal manner. Do it as if you really, really interested. Because when you apply for a company, it means that you really wanted to be a part of it. And do your research. Do you really want to be a part of this company or not? Because salary doesn't mean anything. Sometimes you can work in a high salary company, but your work life balance could be very toxic. So do that kind of researches. And
We are in the last phase of our episode. So before summing up this episode, I would like to ask, what are the positive words you would like to give for any students who are struggling to get the placements, who are getting, offers from the companies? So what are the motivation you are going to give to that student?
question is, data analysts can work from anywhere. This is the best part of the job. And they can work for any company in the world as a freelancer, as a full-time, as a part-time. There are tons of like a different portals like a Upwork, or I cannot call their names right now. You can easily get small jobs with a good pay from there as a freelancer. My biggest motivation is actually, as a data analyst, your work-life balance is beautiful. I have never seen anyone as a data analyst that complains about their work-life balance. This is the most important thing, believe me, because when you are too young, you may be too much focused on the salary. You feel like, okay, I am willing to work in any environment, just need more money. But believe me, it doesn't work. After a few months, you realize that you don't enjoy the money that you make. But data analyst is not that kind of environment, because everybody has their own project, everybody has their own part on the project, and nobody actually gives this, the negative feeling into each other. So this is the most positive thing that I would definitely call.
Thank you, ma'am, to give so much
Thank you.
information about your
Of
field.
course.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I can share your podcast